Yeah, I have that. Oh, okay, way at the bottom. All right.
Okay, so we're talking about the incense altar, just to get us where we were. You shall place it before the partition that is by the ark of the testimonial tablets, in front of the cover that is on the testimonial tablets, where I shall set my meetings with you.
Where I shall set my meetings with, that's, yeah, where I will meet with you. What verse is this? Verse 6?
6, yeah.
Yeah, so this is outside the Holy of Holies.
Outside the Holy of Holies, yeah. The altar was placed directly in front of the ark at the center of the area's width. This part of the building was 20 cubits long, and the altar was placed at the beginning of its inner half. Thus the menorah and the table were closest to the curtain, and the altar was midway between them, but further to the east.
Okay, that makes sense.
Anybody have anything else?
I got nothing. You want to keep going?
Upon it shall Aaron bring the spice incense up in smoke. Every morning when he cleans the lamps, he shall bring it up in smoke. And when Aaron kindles the lamps in the afternoon, he shall bring it up in smoke. Continual incense before Hashem for your generations.
Each day, half of it is burnt in the morning and half of it is burnt in the evening, or at twilight, rather.
Although these verses mention Aaron in connection with both the menorah and the altar, neither service is limited to the Kohen Gadol. Perhaps he is singled out because the Yom Kippur service, which is mentioned in verse 10, had to be performed by the Kohen Gadol. Or perhaps God wanted Aaron to be the first to kindle the menorah and burn incense. That's from Ramban. Everybody's very quiet today.
I'm reading.
I was trying to figure if your Dina.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure if your English was coming from Maid's Client, but it isn't.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I prefer the translation in my other book.
There is a chapter 7:8 comment here. Do you want to hear it?
Sure, go ahead. Is it applicable?
I have trouble with these. I think so. These verses seem to indicate that offering incense and tending and lighting the lamps are to be the prerogatives of the high priest. We know, however, that the daily performance of these rituals was carried out by ordinary priests as well. See M. Yoma 4:4, Talmud 6:3.
So it really wasn't just the job of the
Right.
Right. That's pretty much what Ramban just said.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the incense, the aromatic incense, is Ketoret Samim. The noun Ketoret derives from a stem meaning to burn. It eventually became the term for the substance that produces the aroma.
I'm sorry, it was at first what?
The noun Ketoret derives from a stem meaning to burn or smoke. It eventually became the term for the substance that produces the aroma.
That's like Kleenex.
Right.
Right.
Right. There's a name for that.
Also Band-Aid, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Band-Aid also.
Excuse me.
It'll come to me. There is a specific name for that when a brand name becomes the term used for all items of that ilk.
Yeah, like fridge for refrigerator from Frigidaire.
Well, no, not really.
Frigidaire is a refrigerator. I
Yes,
said,
but refrigerator is not necessarily from Frigidaire. Frigidaire names their device because it was a refrigerator.
yes.
This is like when you have to blow your nose.
You think
You call, no matter what brand you use,
tissue or Kleenex. But
whatever.
when I was a kid, everybody called it Frigidaire, and it was a refrigerator, but it was Frigidaire. That's how they referred to it.
Okay.
Well, Frigidaire was a brand.
Right, correct. But people called, oh, I have to go to the Frigidaire. Instead of, I'm aging myself, but that's what we did.
I think it's called generic trademark.
Nope, that's not it.
Hold on a second.
Generic label?
There is a specific name for it.
What is it called? A generic trademark, also known as a genericized trademark or proprietary eponym, is a trademark or branding that is eponym that has become a branding that has become the generic name.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So we're in verse 9, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a note here, but I don't know what it goes with. There's a Masoretic note that says that there are 100 verses in the Sidra, numerically corresponding to the mnemonic Michael.
What's that?
The Kohen Gadol is compared to the great angel Michael, for the Kohen Gadol is like the greatest angel in God's service.
Oh, that's nice. So there are 100 verses in this Torah portion, and that goes along with, so Michael, Mem is 40, Yud is 10, Chaf is 20, Lamed is 30.
Aleph.
And Aleph, what does that add up to? Oh, no, wait,
And there's
Mem.
2 yods in there.
Oh, that's why. Wait, Mem is 40, Ha,
No, Mem, Yod,
yeah, that's 50.
Chaf,
Yeah, that's 70.
Aleph,
1, yeah,
Yud,
yeah.
Lamed.
That's 121.
It should be 101.
No, take the 2 Yuds out, and then it's 101. They probably spell it.
Oh, you know what?
Chassid.
They're not Yod. They're 2. Sorry.
Right. That's so they're spelling it chaser. They're spelling it lacking without the Yuds.
Okay. All right. Okay. And when Aaron kindles the lamps in the afternoon, he shall bring it up in smoke. I've read that. Sorry. Continual incense before Hashem for your generations. You shall not bring upon it alien incense, or an elevation offering, or meal offering, nor may you pour a libation upon it.
Alien incense. That is, you shall not offer on it any other incense that may be contributed. All such is alien to it. Only the incense of the regular offering may be offered on it.
Yeah, this the Hebrew for alien incense is ketoret zarah. Any incense not precisely compounded according to the formula of verses 34 to 36 in 29, 34 to 36 is invalid. And it is to be used exclusively for the incense offering.
Bruno says it's an incense brought as a donation. Shum. I can't.
What do you mean incense? What's incense brought as a donation?
This is Sforno, and he gives the Hebrew, but I can't read it. It's so small. Shum Ketoret Shel Nedava.
Yeah, that means a free will offering.
Well, that's
But,
what,
but,
and then
but what is that? What is that? I don't understand what that's referring to.
the
What
foreign,
verse is that on?
that's the 9. The foreign incense, according to Sforno, is any incense brought as a donation.
That's interesting.
Well, that goes along with what I said, not precisely compounded according to the formula in those verses.
Right, but this is yet another example of how Judaism emphasizes or prioritizes doing what you're told and doing it because you're told to do it rather than doing something because you want to.
Yeah.
Right? Normally we would think, oh, bring a donation, how nice. Someone wants to bring a donation up to God. But this says no. That's actually an alien offering.
That seems to cut across a whole lot of stuff in Judaism. I noticed that at actually a funeral service the other day. I'm not going to repeat it, but yeah, I think that's very, very true. You say why? It's because that's what our religion says.
You can't even add. So let's say you're according to Nachmanides, let's say you're using the commanded spices, you can't even add to it. It has to be exactly the way God said it should. Huh. Okay.
Okay, final verse. Aaron shall bring atonement upon its horns once a year from the blood of the sin offering of the atonements. Once a year shall he bring atonement upon it for your generations. It is holy of holies to Hashem.
Then here it says there's an exception. The only, as a note, it says the only exception to the preceding rule occurs on Yom Kippur when the high priest performs the rites of purification to reconsecrate the altar as prescribed in Leviticus 16.
I'm sorry, could you read that one more time, Lenore? I didn't catch all of that.
The only exception to the preceding rule that you just read occurs on Yom Kippur when the high priest performs the rites of purification to reconsecrate the altar as prescribed in Leviticus 16.
So when does this take place then? When it says purification shall be performed upon it once a year? When? Once a year when?
Yep. This refers to the application of blood to the horns of the Mizbeach on Yom Kippur, is what I have a Rashi saying.
So I'm confused then because it sounded like Lenore's comment says, in addition to this, they do it on Yom Kippur.
Yeah, it says the only exception to that rule that is in doing it once a year.
Oh, no. I think it means the exception to the rule in number 9 about offering an alien incense or burnt offering or meal offering. I think it's saying that you do that once a year to purify it.
Right. So I'm in that Leviticus, and it says we're in the middle of the Yom Kippur ritual, and it says, thus he shall purge the shrine of the impurity and transgression of the Israelites, whatever their sins, and he shall do the same for the tent of meeting, which abides with them in the midst of their impurity. When he goes in to make expiation in the shrine, nobody else shall be in the tent of meeting until he comes out. When he has made expiation for himself and his household and for the whole congregation of Israel, he shall go out to the altar that is before the Lord and purge it. He shall take some of the blood of the bull and of the goat and apply it to each of the horns of the altar, and the rest of the blood he shall sprinkle on with his finger 7 times. Thus he shall purify it of the impurity of the Israelites and consecrate it.
Is that Leviticus 16?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. So this seems to be the once a year that is not necessarily that incense.
Right. It says, Ibn Ezra says it's a sin offering of the bull and the goat,
Right.
which is what you just read. Something else that's interesting is that it says here, hold on a second. Unlike the altar for offerings, the incense altar is holy to the Lord. So that's a specific phrase that at the end of verse, whatever it is, whatever verse we're on,
10.
end of verse 10, it says Ladonai. So, so the question is, Ibn Ezra, so why does it say that? Why does it say to the Lord? And the answer is that this is due to the fact that it is so exalted. After the ark itself, there is nothing more exalted than the incense altar. This is the second most important thing in the entire temple, apparently.
Ah,
Interesting.
Which may be why its description of how to build it and how to use it is separate from all the other things we built.
Right. It's set apart. The Rashbam, by the way, gives a little more explanation. I think a little more explanation. He says, on the Day of Atonement, he shall go out to the altar that is before the Lord and purge it. He shall take some of the blood of the bull and of the goat and apply it to each of the horns of the altar. That's what you just read from Leviticus 16:18. But during the whole rest of the year, there was no blood on this altar, only incense.
ah.
So that's the finish.
Part of the reason about why they're so specific about what incense you're allowed to bring, remember back in 9 it said don't offer alien incense, it may be from this verse here that we just read where it's called most holy. Kodesh Kodeshim, Hu Ladonai is the most holy, because it says, Rashi notes, this altar is to be devoted only to these particular things, not for any other ritual. So there's something about this incense altar, which, by the way, brings us back a little bit to, remember when we were talking, about incense in general and God smelling things and God, does God need that? The fact that this has such a prominent place in the tabernacle is I wonder if that's telling. I don't know what it's telling, but I wonder if it is.
Rashi says, Torah tells us specifically in what respect the copper Mizbeach is holy. See 29:37, verse 37, chapter 29. But it does not tell us how this Mizbeach is holy of holies. Rashi explains that the Mizbeach is holy of holies because no service other than those mentioned in this section may be performed on it. But what's in chapter 29:37?
7 days you shall perform purification for the altar to consecrate it, and the altar shall become most holy. Whatever touches the altar shall become consecrated.
But which altar is this? Are they talking about?
This is the incense altar.
This is the incense altar? We're sure about that?
Oh, wait a minute, maybe. No, it's not. It's not. It's the sacrificial altar because we're finishing up with the rams and stuff.
Right. So what does this have to do with?
Okay, it says in verse 37, chapter 29, for a 7-day period you shall cleanse this Mizbeach and consecrate it. This Mizbeach shall be holy of holies. Whoever touches this Mizbeach shall become consecrated. That's
Right, but the problem is, I think that Mizbeach is the sacrifice Mizbeach. I don't think it's the incense one.
Go back to the comment that referred us to that, Freda.
All right. The Torah tells us specifically in what respect the copper Mizbeach is holy. See chapter 29, verse 37. But it does not tell us how this Mizbeach is holy of holies.
Oh. Okay. All that comment is saying is that the Torah tells us explicitly why how the regular altar is holy. But the Torah doesn't tell us how the one that we're now talking about, the incense altar, is holy of holies.
I don't think so. Is this the copper Mizbeach?
This one is the incense is the copper Mizbeach.
Well, that's the one it's referring to. The Torah tells us specifically in what respect The copper Mizbeach is holy. And then the chapter in the verse, 29:37, but it does not tell us how this Mizbeach is holy of holies.
Maybe the other one is the copper mizbeach also.
I'm looking.
And he says the reason it is the Holy of Holies is because no service other than those mentioned in this section may be performed on it. That's from Be'er Yitzchak. That's it. That's the whole comment.
So it's a matter of what's done with it. Rather than, okay.
Okay, I'm looking for where we make the thing, but we've got the vestment thing in between. I'm not even seeing where we made the altar. Where do we make the altar?
Oh,
I have no idea. I think we might need to start Leviticus over again.
goodbye.
I have a comment by Rashi right underneath 29:37, and he says, the Mizbeach shall be holy, and in what is its sanctity manifest? In that whatever touches the Mizbeach shall become consecrated. That's what makes it the Holy of Holies. The Mizbeach consecrates even an invalid offering that is placed upon it, to render it fit in that it should not be taken down from the Mizbeach. Can you put any other offering on the Mizbeach we were talking about than the exact incense described by Hashem? Because here is an invalid offering being placed on the Mizbeach.
So the first mizbeach, the sacrificial mizbeach, takes things that are not proper and makes them proper by coming in contact with them.
What number
The
is
incense offering, the incense altar, does not have that capacity. Sorry, go ahead, Dina.
all right? Shmot Chof Zion. What number is Chof Zion?
27.
Okay, so Shmot 27.
What verse?
1 and 2. If I'm reading this correctly.
You shall make the Mizbeach of shittim wool, 5 amos long and 5 amos wide. The Mizbeach shall be square, and 3 amos its height. You shall make its horns on its 4 corners. From it shall its horns be, and you shall cover it with copper. So that's the copper Mizbeach.
And that's not the incense one, right? That's the sacrificial one.
Yeah, but see, my English says brass.
It says what?
The English in the, that tabernacle book,
Yeah.
that says brass. And
As opposed to copper.
as opposed to copper.
So what's the Hebrew word? What's the Hebrew word?
Well, it's probably the same word.
My guess is nechoshet.
Nechoshet.
Yeah.
I don't see nechoshet. Oh my God, I do. Oh gosh. So it's a translation situation. A translation situation.
I really think that comment that you just read, Mom, that it's drawing a distinction between the sacrificial altar and the incense altar. That's what I think it's doing.
I think so.
Okay.
It sounds reasonable.
Copper or brass, because the incense altar is gold.
Oh, so there you go. Okay, right.
So that was the difference.
Okay.
I knew that they were not the same metal, but whether you translate it as brass or copper. The incense one is gold.
Okay. So
Good.
that makes,
I wonder if that means that the incense one is definitely more important to God than the other. The gold is the,
yeah, no, I think you're right. I think that the material that it's made out of is an indication of its importance. I think that makes a lot of sense.
it's a funny combination, kind of, in my head, why that total importance of the incense. It's very hard.
Because it's a pleasing fragrance. It certainly must smell better than burning meat.
Yeah.
I don't know. Barbecue smells pretty good.
Well,
Yeah, but there's a limit, right? Everything in
That's
moderation.
true. That's true.
This
Yeah.
is serious nonstop barbecue going on here.
Well, the other thing too is that barbecued meat does not smell the same as barbecued fat or barbecued tendons,
Flesh.
flesh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all of a sudden, off barbecue.
All right. So now what?
Well, so now my schedule for the summer, as it turns out, I will have time on Wednesdays. So if you'd like to, now I don't know what my internet's going to be like up there. So it's possible that it won't work at all. But if you'd like to give it a shot on next Wednesday at a certain time, that might work for me. I might be able to make some time. I don't know what your schedules look like.
I don't have my book here.
I'm good.
Gino, what do you think?
I'm okay next Wednesday.
So what time would
It'll
be?
take me a minute to find out.
Hello.
I'm here.
Heather says hi.
Oh, hi, Heather.
She just popped in the scene for a second. I'm just muting myself because there are a lot of kids here. Hold on.
What time are we all thinking of? Do you know what your time is, David?
Well, Wednesday is my day off, so you all tell me. I mean, what's
The
what's
same
convenient
time
for you?
Me,
Same time?
it's good for me. Yeah.
Can we back it up to 12?
Yeah, that's good. Let's do 12. Is that okay? Mom, is that too early for you?
I will try. The thing is, I have to wake up and I have to feed the dog and walk him before I can sit down with you. So I might join later if it's at noon.
I missed
All right,
that.
well,
Please tell me the date and time.
Wednesday at 12. Let's try Wednesday at 12, and we'll see if I even have internet, if it even works, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
I can do that. Wednesday the 7th.
Yeah, we're gonna give it a shot. Wednesday the 7th.
When
We'll
do
see if
you
that
leave?
works.
When do you leave?
Sunday.
Sunday. And everybody else is staying in Florida?
No, Dahlia leaves for Israel on Sunday, so I'm taking her to the airport, and then I'm driving up to Georgia, and the other 3 stay in Florida for a little while.
How long is your drive to get
10
up there?
hours.
10? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I'll make it by dinner time. No big deal.
Okay. I need to have a hangout with the family before Sunday.
We can do
Okay?
that.
Let's make that happen.
We can do that.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to start with Kitisa on Wednesday,
Okay.
right? The
I'm
7th.
sorry. I couldn't hear. We're starting where with?
Well, where we left off, Parsha Kitisa. Is that okay with everyone? So we'll try Wednesday at noon, and you'll pardon me if the internet connection isn't good and it doesn't work. I'll do my best, I promise.
All right. Well, if it doesn't work, then we're on hiatus. That's all.
Right. We'll give it a shot though.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, everybody, I'm gonna go pack.
All right. Chag Sameach, everyone.
Chag Sameach. Happy Shavuot, everyone.
Okay. Have a good time.
Bye.
Bye.